This is the Deliberate Talks Weekly Podcast, powered by the Pixelated Egg Digital Ventures. Tune in every week to learn something new about digital marketing and entrepreneurship. And now, over to the voice of your host, Dakshin Adyanthaya. Enjoy the show.
Here's to a new Monday, a new vibe, and a new story. Hello and welcome to the Deliberate Talks podcast. And my name is Dakshin Adyanthaya. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about jumping onto the opportunity of going live instead of having those conscious 100 retakes before we publish our own video content. But how do you do it seamlessly? Or why should you do it in the first place? Leave that to our awesome expert to answer it for you today. But before that, take your notebooks out and take some notes of these facts on live streaming. Forrester highlights that live videos hold user attention 10 to 20 times longer than pre-recorded on-demand content. Did you know 63% of millennials watch live streaming content regularly, making them the largest group of consumers of live content, states Statista. The world's leading live streaming platform for gamers, Twitch, states that the majority of users on the platform, contributing to 81.5%, are male, and more than half of the users are aged between 18 to 34, highlights Influencer Marketing Hub. And Wisol witnessed in 2020 that Facebook Live was an integral part of marketing strategies and saw an increase in usage by about 32%. And now, more on why you or your business should embrace live streaming capabilities with our guest today. He's a marketing consultant and a trainer who started live streaming in 2015. Today, he helps customers with their marketing using the power of content marketing, social media, and live streaming by connecting them in a meaningful way with their customers. He is also an international speaker and has hosted around 200 guests from 30 countries, 3 continents, and in 3 languages in his live show, the Special Marketing Live Show. All the way from Portugal, here's introducing Marco Novo. Hello, Marco. Welcome to the Deliberate Talks podcast.
Hello. First of all, it's a pleasure and an honor to be with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Marco, just going to dig into your life and the life of marketing. I personally like the wordplay, and it's into the 6th season of the show already. Tell me firstly a little bit about you, and how did you lead into a life full of live streaming? And you've been into this since 2015, you mentioned. So how has the life been since 2015 on live streaming?
Well, it's quite a fun adventure, I'm a marketing consultant. Before this, I worked to others. I was saying, okay, I don't want to do this for my life. I want to be my own boss and do what I think it should be made. And so I started my freelance consultant and training business, and I had to figure out a way to get known, to get trusted, to get authority, and to build a personal brand. And I think, okay, I need to, there's some options on the table, like writing articles, like sharing videos and whatever. And I think, okay, video may be a good option for me. And then one day, on a given day of September 2015, I was scrolling to my Facebook page and I saw a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. He made a post, look, I'm broadcasting on this platform, call it Blab. And that was very, very intriguing to me. So I went there to see what was going there. And it was a live stream platform. It was Clubhouse by that time, but with video, not just audio. And then I say, oh, I like it. This is fun. And he asked me, do you want to join? And I said, of course I want. And so I was there. I think we were talking for more than 1 hour. It was funny because there were 2 boys from Portugal and 2 ladies from Brazil. And I like to say this. It's my kind of slogan about live streaming. It was love at first live. And then I was searching for more people because it was such a good experience. I was looking for people to join me. It was hard because here in Portugal, people are a little bit shy, afraid of going in front of the camera. So, and I didn't have at that time this amazing network from all over the world. So it was very hard by that time. And also, one thing that for me it's important to say it on live streaming is to be spontaneous, not just plan everything. Those people wanted to go live with me, they want to plan everything. And the problem is, after these 5 years, I keep doing this with people from all over the world, and I don't know where they are. So it's funny because they want us to plan so much, and that's, I think it's a kind of a lesson to your audience and to the people who are listening. Don't prepare too much, because most of the times some things which are not prepared, just be, I have these three things that for me are kind of I like to call this the three layers for building things. The first layer is respect your identity. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to fake nothing, because at the end of the day, or sooner or later, people will notice that you're faking, and this is not good. And also, as we listen every day, be yourself, because everybody else is tooked. So don't try. The second layer is respect your progress. If you're starting, the video quality you get when you're starting, and also the podcast, I believe, Dakshin, when you look back for your first podcast you recorded and you look to now, I think you will laugh, but also
Absolutely.
you will get kind of proud, because look, I started, I did it, I keep this consistency, which is very important. So respect that. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try, because you will never be, but don't try to be good as people that are doing this for a long time when you're starting, because it's not good for you. It's not fair. So if you're starting, you will make the mistakes from a starter. You will have the output from a starter, and that's good. Just look what you did, acknowledge the good things you made. It's very important to the, okay, I give this step, I'm good, that's fine, I have to improve this and this. And then at the end, hug yourself and be happy, be proud, because you started. I think it's very important. And the third layer, it's respect your audience. For me, it's very important.
Right.
Don't try to, or don't share meaningless content which doesn't bring any value to your audience. It's very important to be respectful to your audience, otherwise it won't work. So my starting kick to share this experience I had with the live stream till now, because for me it's amazing. I build business opportunities, friendships, and networking, and I get known to big brands. And so I think it's a nice option for you if you want to start content journey. Include live streaming on the options.
Right. Super. Marco, you did mention about the fact that people in Portugal are actually shy of going live. In fact, people around the world are shy to go live. And
Yeah.
there is a very interesting term in one of your content that was coined as foggle, the fear of going live. And I'm very super conscious myself, and more importantly, very anxious before hitting the live button whenever there's a live event, right? And I have one scheduled with you. But accidentally, also, people are scared of hitting the live button because they don't know how to face the camera. Did you ever face, especially in the beginning days of 2015, did you ever face the foggle moment yourself?
Well, to be honest, no, because as I said before, one of the things is that we think too much. We think about, am I good enough? Is my message worth to listen? There's so many people there making good content, or even making noise. Will people listen to me or watch me? And what will they think when they watch me? Do I look good? Do I look fat? Do I look ugly? Whatever. And to be honest, I didn't think about this, because I don't care.
Right.
To be honest, I don't care, because that's me. And I know that lots of people will like me, maybe, hopefully. And even more people won't like me. And even more people won't even know me. So one day I was talking with someone about live streaming, and they said to me, well, look, I think one of the advantage of live streaming is that people understand better and will forgive you easier your mistakes. And I said, no, that's not the point. The point is that you should be doing this. I mean, if I'm waiting for the forgiveness of others, if I'm waiting for the understanding of others about what I'm doing, about what I'm saying, about how I look, this will be a problem for me, because it's enough one people who say, "Oh, your content sucks, you look ugly," and this will ruin my life, ruin my content, ruin the experience I'm doing. So the first thing is, okay, I'm doing the best I can do by now. I'm sharing the best content I can with you right now, so I'm good. I think because if you, for instance, Dakshin, you're here and you're listening to me and you say, "Oh, Marco, this content it's so bad. It's for kids. It's for dummies." And I say, "Oh my God, oh, he ruined my day. I can't allow you this."
Right.
And I think it's very important. So yes, sometimes I don't feel good, because it's important when you go live. It's good to understand that live streaming, it's an energy sucking machine, because you have to give 150% at least.
Right.
You have to engage with the camera. You have to be in a good mood, otherwise it won't work, of course.
Right.
And there were times, yes, I didn't go live because I didn't felt well.
Right.
But fear of this, because it was people from Live Scale who came with the Foggle, and I didn't have, because I prepare my content. I know well what I'm saying. I know this could be helpful for my audience, and for me it's the most important.
Right. There's another part about live is about how you act live, right? I mean, we don't really know it, but when we see the video replay and we then start analyzing our content very critically and then realize I have a habit of saying too many R's, or I scratch my head, or I do too many hand gestures live. Do you have any such habit? And if you did have and now you don't have anymore, how did you cope up with this habit?
Well, it's such a tough thing, yes, because sometimes we have this scratch. For instance, sometimes I and when I was in college, we had to make the presentations of works we made, and usually I scratch my ear, and people was at the end of my presentation, "Well, I look the way you do it, but you're picking your ear all the time." I think it's this the thing. If that habit you have, it's making a noise through the content, and if people at some point are paying more attention to that habit, yes, now you have to work on it. Okay, because for instance, if you say from time to time, okay, if you can work on this, perfect. But if it's not a noise that you're making to the audience, if you have time, okay, work it, because it takes time to work on this. Okay, right. As usual, and I talk about this also with the background. People usually ask me, "Oh, Marco, I don't know if my background is good to make live stream, because I see people with flares, with lights and virtual screens and everything. My background looks good." And I say, "Look, the maximum your background should do is to be neutral to the message you're delivering."
Right.
If it's bringing a negative message, okay, you should work on that. But if it's neutral, it's good. But yes, one of the good things to get rid of these habits, and usually most of them are about speaking, about and repeating the same word lots of times, it's breathing. One of the things usually we do when we have to face the camera or public speaking, we tend to speak faster, because, okay, let me finish this. If I speak faster, things will go good. I will finish soon and I'll go home and I'm okay. And the point is, it's false, because usually when we tend to speak faster, our tongue start doing shitty things to us. So breathing, it's a very important thing, because your message will get stronger. And also it gives you time to think about what you are saying next. And this is very important. And yes, you can rehearse in front of the camera, in front of the mirror. Let me see. Okay, my hand wants to go to my ear. My one wants to scratch something. Get away from here. I think you can train that. Yes.
Superb. Then in that case, tell me some bloopers and funny incidents that has happened to you during a live stream or any other show of yours where you have been a part of. Live, there's no editing here, right? So how do you firstly damage control such scenario when it happens to you? And tell me a few stories.
Well, I think during the shows, the only problem I had it's a funny one
Uh-huh.
because I have this mug with water in front of me, and sometimes I drink too much, and I had the need to go to the bathroom, and that's a big problem. Yeah, this is a big problem, and it happened to me a lot of times. I have to. I keep here and I have to smile, which is not good when you want to go to the bathroom. But the most funny things didn't happen live because they happened before we went live. And for instance, I had one guest. It was at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
We had the live schedule, and then I asked 1 or 2 hours before, okay, are you okay? Everything. And he told me, oh no, I'm at the vet. My cat hate, that things that are in the Christmas tree,
Uh-huh.
a kind of, and he was on the vet because the cat hate that. And then we had to reschedule the live.
Right.
Also, one day, and this was funny, I had a guest, and we were talking about live video. It was funny, and it was just right the minute after I finished the show,
Uh-huh.
my chair broke. It was, oh my God. I say, oh my God, so good. We already finished. And there was a time also where I got many technical issues, and my camera got frozen, and my image got frozen the rest of the show with me hanging my shin. And there was that. And how you can deal with this? Take it funny.
But could you actually see your audience interact with you and tell you the screen is frozen or
Yes, they were saying, and some of them said, "Oh my God!" Because usually, even in people who are doing this for a long time, some of them panic or get upset or get frustrated in front of the camera. I don't recommend you to do this.
Mhm.
Just embrace the things. Okay, it's frustrating. It is, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean nobody will die because of this. Nobody will get upset because we are all human. We should forgive ourselves about this, because most of the times these funny situations are not our fault. Like this one, it was a problem with the network, I think, or something. It doesn't matter now. And my image was frozen, but the sound was good, and I was laughing all the time because it was funny seeing myself there frozen. And I think it's the good thing. If you don't panic and you face this bad situation, these bloopers, as you said, in a funny mood, it's a good thing for people to want to watch your next show, because even though things go wrong, people will have fun. I think, and mostly by these days, we are too serious about too many things.
Right.
I think it's important to face these situations with a laughter, with funny, because people like this.
Right. Absolutely. So also, this is a part of the funny incidences, but you also, I'm sure, have a lot of times you host guests who might not really speak much or, give you enough content. What do you do then? Could you share some ideas that one could use during the session to engage with their guests better, or even audience at the same time? Because the audience keep putting in questions in the comment section or interact with you. How can you really up your game in terms of engaging with the guest or the audience at the same time?
Well, I should be thankful, and I think this could be one of the most important things when you're. And I have this video. I made a couple of videos about bringing the next the best guest to your show, and I think it's the main secret is this: look at them in other shows. Okay, look how guests behave in other shows. This could avoid you problems, because if they are in bad mood, if they don't speak too much, if you keep doing so many questions or keep pushing them to speak more, I think this also will look a little bit awkward to people in the audience watching. About bringing comments from audience. Oh, it's also a problem. It's very well. If one of the things you can do if they don't speak too much, but this requires a teamwork. It's to bring someone that you trust and who can start the fire, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Okay, put them in the audience. Let's start them to make questions and putting comments, and then let's hope that people start talking. But it's always good to make answers to the audience. Okay, for instance, okay, now our guest is talking about how he started or how she started on entrepreneur. And you, how did you start? Did you already started? And make this kind of questions.
Right.
It's a good way to engage with them, and also don't ignore them. Okay, because one of the problems, and I have this battle. It's not that some people like to record videos and then broadcast them as they were live.
Right. Right.
And I like to say, oh, this for me this doesn't make any sense, because one of the things, why do I like to tune in a live session when it's live? Because I like that real time, real interaction. If, for instance, they are there on a recorded session but broadcasting live without any disclaimer saying it was a recorded session, and I start interacting and nobody's answering or even acknowledging my questions, for me this is a nonsense. I get frustrated. So I think it's very important to get this engagement. And also don't script too much the live, because if you are too scripted, you won't get any time to go to the audience, because if you may have this fear, okay, if I go to the audience, if I interact too much with the audience, I will lose the hands of my will, so don't script too much. Ask from times to times insightful and meaningful questions to your audience. I think it's a nice way to involve them in the conversation.
Right. Right. So, Marco, you already touched upon certain parts of it in this conversation, but you also mentioned that you prepare for your live. So, say tomorrow, if I want to start my own live show, firstly, what are the few things to keep in mind with regards to the structure of the show and then promote the show? Things like how do I plan? Where should I be? How should I get my guest? How should I promote it? What's your process like?
Well, nice question. It's a very good question. About the topic, let's start with the topic of your show, which is something important. Look at the most usual questions you get from your audience, from your customers, from your friends about your business, of course. And then you may write it down, or you can put it on an Excel sheet, and then look from those, which one are you more comfortable answering? Which one you think, okay, with this one, I have this knowledge, I have this passion about this. Let me start with this. And this will put away, I think, 80% of the weight of the live stream thing, because you're comfortable with what you're saying.
Right.
You should try the internet speed. It's very important, even though it's not the main problem. I have to tell this story. I started live stream, as I said, in 2015. Then I had a little pause because Blab went down, and I had to wait to Facebook to release to normal people Facebook Live.
Right.
And then I think I started again in middle of 2017.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I was sharing recorded videos. And one day, it was 2018, I was looking to a course about Be Live, which was the platform I was using by those days. A course about platform and about live streaming. And there was a class about internet speed. And I said, okay, let me take a look. And it was a course by Stephen Healy, which became a friend of mine. I'm doing weekly shows with him. And he was showing this platform, which is a speed test by Hookla, which is a good tool for you to try before going live.
Right.
And you should have around 1.72 megabytes per second upload speed. Right. And I say, okay, let me try. I hit the go button to start the test, and the needle wasn't moving. And I say, oh my God. And at the end, as I saw, I think it was below the half of the speed I should have.
Okay.
Okay. And I call this the selective ignorance. There are things that should be important, but you ignore them because you think it's not essential to do this.
Mhm.
So internet speed, if you want to have a good video quality, yes, it's important. If you have above 10 megabytes per second, now I'm fiber, so I'm okay with this.
Mhm.
It will be a good thing because image will look clear and everything. So if you can have it, perfect. Also, you should search for guests. I think it's important to have in mind the guest is good because he will give you authority, okay? Because you're starting, nobody knows you, and then you can bring someone which is bigger than you, hopefully bigger. By this doesn't mean he's better than you or he's better person than you, and maybe an expert in the topic more than you are.
Mhm.
It's okay. You're evolving, and this is important. It can bring his or her audience to your shows, so it can help you grow your audience. Also, you will learn a lot with those people. It's for sure.
Right.
I've been learning a lot with my guests. One friend of mine said one day, "Well, you already have an MBA because you have so many and so good guests." And I say, well, maybe I do. And this is important. Look, how can you find the good ones? For instance, look if they are doing live streaming, okay, or being guests on podcasts, and look their tone and look if that fits with what you want.
Mhm.
This is important. If they have a big and engaged audience, for instance, okay, I think this person is good, and let's be very intentional with this, okay? If this person knows about the topic, which is important also, it's for me, it's demanding, it's unnegotiable. The person should know a lot about the topic. But if he doesn't or she doesn't have audience, this point will be missing because he or she won't bring more people to your community. Okay.
Mhm.
Also, and this is a good tip for you to have easier a yes. Look if they are having a book launch, a course, an event, because these people like to be on other shows because they want to promote their things. And I can tell this by my own experience because I'm always searching for people on LinkedIn. Let me see who is launching books or launching courses. And okay, oh, look, I send them a DM. Look, I saw that you are launching a book. Do you want to promote it on my show? And they say, oh, yeah, thank you so much for having me. Because, yes, it's true. And other good thing is to look for people who had their own show too, because this could be an opportunity for you to be also in their shows. Okay. Right. And then you can meet their audience and then you can bring some audience from that people for your audience, which will be good also.
Right.
And also it's good to give this information to your guest. Maybe their situation could happen, technical issues or something. Don't take this too serious. Relax, have fun. I think it's also important. About promotion, use everything you can use. For instance, I have templates I made. I schedule in 3, 4, 5 days in advance so I can have this promotion, extra promotion. For instance, if you have email list, promote to your audience if it's meaningful for your, well, if it's not meaningful to your audience, don't do the show. Mm-hmm. Just do a Zoom call or a Skype call and talk with that people, and it's okay. But yes, it's important to promote it. And for instance, on the description, make people understand why it's useful to watch that show. Okay, mm-hmm. And this is also important when you're starting the show. Mm-hmm. Okay, don't make this mistake as I did at the beginning. And then just to finish, do things that are very important during the show. First one, start with what you will get. No, okay, so let's wait for people to come to our show before we don't have 100 show. The show won't start. That's right. Okay, let's start and everything. No. Once you're live, okay, so today we're going to talk about this, and this. Stay tuned, everything. Then it's important this to 15 to 30 seconds when you are showing what people will get, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you can make a kind of, for instance, okay, let us know Where are you watching us? Which platform? Let us know. Please share this talk. If you know someone who may be interested in this could be important because, if you go straight to the interview, for instance, one day, one person talked about this. Like when we see live talk shows on TV, they don't start the very right moment. They make a kind of a warm up,
Right.
okay, and then they jump into the conversation after 3-5 minutes. Okay, so and the other thing, which I've seen this happening when you watch the viewers counting and you see nobody is watching. And usually I see people that loses their energy when they see, oh, nobody's watching. Don't do this. Okay.
Right.
For instance, which experience will see, okay, oh, I see, I'm looking in my feed and I see that you're live. And then I join the live and I see a person with no energy, with no hope in their eyes, waiting for people to join their show. What will I do?
You'll obviously move.
I move. Right. That's the first situation. The second, and this thing is growing, most of people watch live shows after the replay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense to see these peaks of, okay, now I'm fully energized. And then I notice that nobody's watching the show. Okay, oh my God, nobody's watching the show. Oh, nobody likes me. Nobody cares about me. And then you see that 3 people came. It doesn't make any sense. So these things for me are very important. And this last one, it's even more important. Keep the energy, even though nobody's watching the show.
Right. Makes sense. Absolutely, Marco. But Marco, also in this case, what are the essential tools and equipments to go live? What are your go-to equipments to a live streaming show?
Okay, perfect. Nice question, because so many people ask me about this. And again, there's a misconception about this. Yesterday, I was talking with someone about the way I like to do things. And I answered them, look, I like to start with what you have today. And if today the only thing you have is your cell phone, start with your cell phone. It's enough to start, because I think we should be honest about things, because I love live stream. Yes, I do. But I understand that not everybody will love live streaming as I do. And it's easy to spend $10,000 on equipment to go live streaming, or even more. But for instance, you spend $1,000 buying a webcam, a microphone, lighting, softwares, and everything. And you made the first live show and you didn't like the experience. And I'm not talking about you didn't get audience, you didn't get comments. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the experience. You see, oh, I don't like this. It's not for me. I don't like it. I don't get thrilled. Okay, I will give up. $1,000 thrown to garbage. So start with cell phone. If you can, buy a cell phone clip and a stand. Okay, they are very inexpensive. I think with $20 you can buy this, and start with that. Make sure that the battery is charged, or put it connected to the charger, and also to put in the plane mode so you don't get incoming calls while you're doing lives. Okay.
Right.
And if you're okay, or if you already have a webcam, a microphone, you can use StreamYard, which is my favorite platform, and it's very easy to use. You can have guests. You can multicast, which means you can go live at the same time on more than one network, okay? Or more than one place. For instance, you can go live on your Facebook page, Facebook profile, Facebook group at the same time, okay? This could be good. And then go improving. By these days, for instance, one of the problems we are seeing, it's in the webcam market, because this situation, webcams went up to through the roof, the prices. One thing you can do is to pick your cell phone, and there are lots of softwares which allows you to use your cell phone as a webcam, okay? Sure. And image is very good. So I think it's the best option, because there are so many equipment. I don't recommend you to buy a webcam.
Right.
Okay, it's better to start to use your cell phone, because usually a medium cell phone has an amazing camera, and wait a little bit so to see if the prices get back to normal webcam market, and then you can buy it. But otherwise, I don't think by these days it's logical to buy a webcam. I can give you the example. One of the cameras I have, it's a Logitech C920, and it costed me around $60.
Okay.
Now I think it's around $150. The same webcam.
Right.
And I bought it 7 years ago. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Great stuff, Marco. This kind of ends the first segment for us. We are now stepping into a more candid, personal, and an exciting space with the rapid fire round. I have a few questions coming right at you at a bullet speed. So, are you ready for this?
Well, I'm ready.
Okay, then. If you had the following live stream shows, what would you name them? So, if Marco had a cooking show, he would call it,
Mark Cooking Show.
okay, a dance show.
Oh my God. There's a saying here, when you have very weight feet, it's bad to dance. Maybe Bigfoot dancing.
Okay, and a makeup tutorial show.
Well, if I can do it, you can also.
Lovely. Okay. Okay. So, from a personal experience, you did mention about how live streaming helps. But from a business perspective, why should you do live streaming, or why should business leaders, owners have their own live shows? Give me a reason or two in terms of what value does it add for a business.
Well, branding, it's very powerful through live stream. It's amazing how you can build a brand. Look at me. I'm here in Portugal. Okay. I have people from all over the world. I have incoming invitations to work with brands, to work with people. So look, the village where I live, we are around 1,000 people.
Uh-huh.
And I get connection from everywhere. So
Right.
it's a nice option for branding. And the other thing is that you get very close to your audience, okay?
Mhm.
And when you are very close to your audience, it's easier for you to sell to them
Right.
for two reasons. First, because you build that trust, which help people to buy from you, because when we are talking about selling or buying, trust is key.
Mhm.
And this is very important. And the other thing is, when you are too close to your audience in a meaningful way, you will know what they want, what they need. So I will pick these two things. It's very good for branding, and it's very good for selling.
Great. Okay. Who's that one popular guest you want to feature on your marketing show this year?
Well, there are two guys that I will, well, one amazing guy, I will have it tomorrow, Dakshin. So I think, but of course, I would love to have Seth Godin, Gary Vee, for instance. I would love to have them both.
Right.
Let's see.
Great. Okay. If you aren't live streaming your content, you're missing out on, complete the sentence.
Lots of friend opportunities.
Okay. Consider one day live streaming gets banned. What will Marco do?
Well, I run to a cell phone store, I buy an Apple phone, and I'll go to Clubhouse.
Okay. 3 reasons why people should catch up with all the episodes of the Marketing Live Show.
This, my whole journey, will inspire you to start live streaming, because when I started, I was awful. And I think I made some improvements. First one.
Mhm.
Second of one, you will learn a lot about businesses, about entrepreneurship, about marketing. And third, hopefully you will learn to speak Portuguese, English, or Spanish, because I do shows in those 3 languages and I've learned. So I think you may learn also.
Right. Fantastic. And finally, what's in store for Marco this year?
Well, I want to launch my live stream academy for businesses, not just for gamers or for influencers.
Right.
I think it will be in the second semester of this year.
Nice.
I want to keep my show, of course. I think I will reach this year the 200 episode.
Mhm.
And I want to keep having fun. I think it's very important by these days, having fun, engage, because sometimes we make life so complicated and good things are so easy to achieve. So that's it. I think I want to keep having fun and enjoying my shows with my guests.
Right.
And let's see what else can happen.
Lovely. Well done, Marco. Pretty cool answers there. So now I'm quickly going to move into our last segment. And this is where we take a question from our followers from across platforms. And this question comes from Aaron Johnson. And he asks, with growing popularity of live streaming, especially for gamers and sports fans, how much does a live streaming studio cost? And can you charge your subscribers for your stream? And what are the other ways of monetizing a live streaming channel?
Well, I think it depends in lots of things. For instance, to live stream sports events, it's more expensive because you need more cameras, you need more equipment because you want to give different angles, you want to give, there's more equipment involved. I think if you want to have a really good studio, and we are talking about a computer because the PC, it's also very important, lights, softwares, camera, microphone, mixers of sound and video. We are talking about maybe around $5,000. And to monetize, that's an amazing question. It's very good because this is something that people usually ask me. Oh, okay, you're doing live stream. How do you get money from that? And I say several ways. Mm-hmm. One, for instance, sponsored shows. And in sponsored shows, you can make it even more subcategories. For instance, you can have a sponsor like Adidas, Nike, whatever, and you say, okay, this show is sponsored by Nike, Adidas, whatever.
Right.
You can have, for instance, guests, which are companies who pay you to be on your show. They are there showcasing, promoting their businesses and whatever.
Right.
You can be, for instance, doing unboxing of something or making reviews about something, and companies pay you to do that.
Right.
Okay. You can do the same thing, unboxing or review, and you get paid by, for instance, affiliate links, which means you just get money if people who are watching will buy that product or service. Mm-hmm. You can, for instance, you can turn your live shows into private videos, which people have to pay a membership to watch them. Mm-hmm. You can broadcast to a closed environment where you can go live, but you have to pay. There are platforms like GotMy or Uscreen where you can broadcast there, and only payers, if you want, can watch your shows.
Right.
You have to be very strategic and plan it very well. For instance, you can go live and share the video for free. For instance, you can build a course, okay, and make it live for free before, and then you remove the videos from free places. And then, okay, if you want to have the course again, it's here. You have to buy it or you have to subscribe to this membership.
Right. Fantastic stuff, Marco. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode.
Oh, my God.
I now look at the importance of live very differently. And in my mind, I'm already churning out some really cool ideas for my future shows.
Perfect.
And I credit you for sharing all the important information for that. And I really hope you enjoyed your time on the show.
Absolutely. I think you can tell.
Fantastic, Marco. I wish you all the very best for all the future shows and your courses and everything that's lined up for you. And hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Dakshin. It was a real pleasure to join you. And I had so much fun. And I think these questions, the format you made it, I think this will be very helpful for your audience. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Marco. That means a lot.
Thank you so much, Dakshin.
Thank you. Cheers. Well then, time to hit the live button and kill the fear of going live. If you have any feedback, write to the deliberatetalks@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow the Deliberate Talks on the audio and the social media channels. Join in next Monday for another episode with another expert. And until then, don't forget to inspire and be inspired.